Hey everyone, Angel from Resolve here. Today I wanted to give you a quick overview of our new review guidelines, which you can use to help your team understand what they should be reviewing in virtual reality. So here is the Resolve website. So you can see I have this button that says assign due date because I've never set up a review for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and click it. And now I get a window that asks me to input a few things: review guidelines, required reviewers, and a due date. Let me walk you through each one. The review guidelines are going to help your team understand what you want them to review in the defined period. You've got to think about who your reviewers are. And a lot of the reviewers on Resolve right now are operations and maintenance teams who are accessing BIM for the first time in a way that allows them to look for operations risks. And so think through what are those end user procedures that they have to do and ask them to try to run through those virtually. So let me add a little prompt here to give you an idea of what you can write. Okay, so I filled it in. I'm asking my team when they go into VR to simulate a lockout tagout procedure and make sure that there aren't accessibility risks that would prevent the procedure from happening efficiently. Also, go in and try a terminal inspection and make sure there aren't any safety risks or arc hazards that they might run into. And finally, maybe they can verify the overhead valves because we just finished coordinating that. And before we sign off on it, we want to make sure there aren't obstructions that could get in the way. So I've defined my guidelines now so that when my team goes into Resolve, they will see a window that tells this to them so that they remember what they're looking at. The next step is to define reviewers. It's really important to understand who you want to review the model. So I'm going to go ahead and click this drop down, and you can see I get a list of all the users in my team with the company that they work for next to their name. So let's say Sally is the operations lead that needs to go in and review the model. She definitely needs to be involved, so she's a required reviewer. And Danny D is from an external company. He might be from a general contractor or an engineering firm that also needs to make sure they review certain things. So I'm going to go ahead and add him. So now we've got two required reviewers, and this is important because this will define who Resolve will help you keep track of. Next, I'm going to set a due date. Let's give them about a week to review. So I'm going to set the review deadline for Friday. Now I'm going to hit Save Review Details. Once I set a review, my team is going to get an email kickoff with my guidelines that I specified in that window and the due date. And it's going to let them know that they should go in and review in VR. And as we approach the due date, if they haven't gone in, it's going to remind them to go in and make sure to leave annotations with the Resolve speech-to-text functionality. At the end of the review, I, as the review lead and administrator of the team, will get an email that says the activity, what annotations were left, and if there was anyone who didn't review, it'll also help me track that down. Now, once the review period is over, Resolve can export the speech-to-text annotations that people left in a number of formats so that you can then bring them into your traditional issue tracking workflow. So that will all get emailed to you, but you can also download it from your dashboard at any time. We're really excited for the review workflows that we're unlocking here, especially when it comes to asynchronous communication. We really want to try to cut down on the number of meetings and calendar invites that people have and let them efficiently review models, especially operators and end users who don't normally have access to BIM. This is a great way to help them start engaging with those BIM assets that you've already invested in, but might not be using to their full extent. So let us know what you think, and we'll certainly be building on this feature more in the coming months.